Have you ever felt like the storm in your life just won't end? Like wave after wave keeps hitting you. And just when you think you can breathe, another one comes. Maybe it's emotional exhaustion. Maybe it's disappointment. Maybe it's silent battles that no one else can see. You've been praying. You've been holding on. But deep down, there's a question you haven't said out loud. God, how much longer? If that's where you are right now, I need you to hear this clearly. The storm will not last forever. One of the hardest things about storms is not just what you're going through, it's what it feels like. Because storms can make you feel abandoned, like God is distant, like he's silent. But Scripture tells a different story. In Mark chapter 4, verse 37 to 39, the disciples were caught in a violent storm. The waves were breaking into the boat, and Jesus was asleep, and they cried out, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" Have you ever felt like that? Like God sees what you're going through, but isn't responding the way you expected? But here's what's powerful. Jesus was in the boat the whole time, even in the chaos, even in the fear, even when it felt like silence. God is not absent in your storm. He is present, even when he feels quiet. Storms have a way of revealing what's inside of us. They expose fear. They expose doubt. They expose the areas where we've been relying on our own strength. But they also do something deeper. They build endurance. James chapter 1 verse 2-4 says, "Consider it pure joy whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance." Now, let's be honest. Nobody enjoys the storm. Nobody wakes up and says, "God, give me a trial today." But what if the storm isn't just something you're surviving? What if it's something God is using to strengthen you, to deepen your faith, to refine your character, to prepare you for something greater? Because storms don't just test you, they transform you. Here's something the enemy doesn't want you to remember. Every storm has an expiration date. It may feel endless. It may feel overwhelming, but it is not permanent. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1 reminds us, "To everything there is a season, even this, even the pain, even the waiting, even the uncertainty." Psalm chapter 30 verse 5 says, "Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning." That means your current situation is not your final destination. There's a morning coming. There's a shift coming. There's a breakthrough on the other side of this. One of the most difficult parts of the storm is when you can't see what God is doing. You're praying, but nothing seems to change. You're believing, but nothing seems to move. But Romans 8 verse 28 says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him." Not some things, all things. That means even this storm is being used for your good. Even the pain you don't understand. Even the delay that frustrates you. Even the closed doors. God is working behind the scenes, aligning things you can't yet see. If you're in the middle of a storm right now, this is not the place to give up. This is not the place to lose hope. Galatians 6 verse 9 says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." Notice that if we do not give up, the breakthrough is often closer than it feels. But storms have a way of making you want to quit too early. Don't stop now. Don't walk away now. Don't lose faith now. Because what's on the other side of this is worth the endurance. Let me remind you of who you are. You're not weak. You're not forgotten. You're not alone. Even here, in this place of uncertainty, God is holding you together. Not when things get better. Not when you finally feel strong again. Right here, in the confusion, in the waiting, in the questions you don't have answers to. Isaiah 41 verse 10 says, "Do not fear, for I am with you. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Think about that. Not just watching you, not just aware of you. He is actively holding you up. That means on the days when you feel like you're barely functioning, when your thoughts are heavy, when your heart feels overwhelmed, God is not expecting you to carry yourself. He's carrying you. Psalm 55 verse 22 says, "Cast your burden on the Lord, and he will sustain you." Not ignore you, not rush you, sustain you. Which means even when you feel like you're at your limit, God is making sure you don't break under the weight. Let's be honest. There's a kind of tiredness that no amount of rest can fix. It's emotional, it's spiritual, it's deep. It's the kind of exhaustion that comes from fighting battles no one else sees. You've been holding on for so long that even hope feels heavy. And maybe you've been saying it quietly, I don't know how much more I can take. But here's the truth. God is not asking you to be strong on your own. 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9 says, My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. That means your breaking point is where God's strength steps in. So instead of trying to hold everything together, let God hold you. Instead of pretending you're okay, bring him the real version of you. Because God doesn't meet you in perfection. He meets you in honesty. Be careful not to build your identity around your pain. Because the longer you sit in the storm, the easier it is to start believing, this is just who I am now. But that's not true. You're not defined by what you're going through. You are defined by who God says you are. Chosen, loved, called, restored. 1 Peter 2 verse 9 says, You are a chosen people, a royal priesthood. Even now, even in this, you are still who God called you to be. The storm may be shaping you, but it does not get to name you. God does his deepest work in hidden seasons expanded. There's something powerful about hidden seasons. They feel slow. They feel unnoticed. They feel frustrating, but they are often the most transformative. Because when no one sees you, God is forming something in you that cannot be shaken later. Luke 16 verse 10 says, Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. So even in this quiet place, God is preparing you, strengthening your character, deepening your faith, aligning your heart. And one day, what feels hidden now will become visible. Sometimes the hardest part of the journey is not the pain. It's the uncertainty, not knowing when things will shift, not knowing how it will all come together. But God is not working randomly. He is intentional. Every delay, every closed door, every unexpected turn is being used. Isaiah 60 verse 22 says, When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. That means you don't have to force it. You don't have to rush it. You don't have to figure everything out. You just have to trust that God knows the timing. Your voice matters more than you think, because silence can sometimes agree with fear. But your voice activates faith, even if it's shaky, even if it's quiet. There is power in speaking truth in the middle of chaos. David said in Psalm 42, verse 11, Why, my soul, are you downcast? Put your hope in God. He spoke to himself. He reminded himself. So even now, encourage yourself. Speak over your life. Declare, I will not stay in this place forever. God is working, even when I don't see it. I'm coming out of this stronger, because sometimes you have to prophesy your way through the storm. Right now, it feels like survival, but later, it will make sense. Not all at once, not immediately, but piece by piece. God will reveal what he was doing, and you'll look back and realize, I didn't just survive that. God carried me through it. And that testimony will have power, because people don't connect with perfection. They connect with real stories of endurance. Your pain will not be wasted. Your tears are not unseen. Psalm 56 verse 8 says, You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. God sees it all. Every tear, every moment, every silent prayer. You may feel like you've reached your limit, but God has not reached his. What he started in you, he will finish, even if it takes longer than you expected, even if it looks different than you imagined. God is committed to your process. And sometimes, the reason it's taking time is because he's making sure it's sustainable. Not rushed, not temporary, but lasting. So breathe. Not everything has to be figured out today. Not everything has to change overnight. Give yourself permission to be in process, to heal, to grow, to trust God one step at a time. Lamentations chapter 3 verse 22 to 23 says, His mercies are new every morning, which means tomorrow there will be fresh grace waiting for you, fresh strength, fresh hope. Isaiah 43 verse 2 says, When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. Notice it doesn't say if. It says when. Storms will come, but they will not destroy you, because God is with you in it. So take a deep breath. You're going to make it through this. This storm will not break you. It will not define you. And it will not last forever. One day, you're going to look back on this season, and what once felt like it would destroy you will become the very testimony that strengthens someone else. So hold on. Keep trusting. Keep believing. Because even now, God is carrying you through the storm, and the storm will not last forever. Like, share, and subscribe. Join Kingdom in Motion, where faith moves and Jesus is King.